Have you ever stopped to think how far human creativity can go when someone decides to completely ignore every standard and simply build something never seen before? Now imagine that inside the world of cars. Machines that were never meant to be practical or common, but created to impress, push limits, and show what the future could look like long before it actually arrived. Concept cars that challenged design, broke rules, and introduced ideas so bold that even today they still feel ahead of their time. Some never made it to the streets, but all of them left a lasting mark on automotive history. Today, you're about to go on a journey through some of the most incredible concept cars ever built in the world. Stay with me, because the last one on this list will completely change the way you see what a car can be. Lamborghini Marzal. The Lamborghini Marzal was introduced in 1967 by Lamborghini in Italy, at a time when the brand was still building its identity and needed to prove it wasn't there to follow trends, but to redefine them. This concept was created as a showcase of innovation, exploring how far design could go without commercial limitations. Under its striking body, it featured an inline engine of around 2 liters, producing approximately 175 horsepower. The setup included a 6-cylinder engine mounted transversely, something quite unusual for that era. It came paired with a manual transmission, offering a direct driving feel, while its independent suspension on all 4 wheels, combined with rear-wheel drive, provided stability, even as a purely experimental machine. Visually, the Marzal is a true work of art. Its massive glass doors that open upward create a unique sense of openness and futuristic elegance. The interior is dominated by silver tones and geometric patterns, delivering an almost surreal atmosphere. The car is long, low, and incredibly refined, drawing attention wherever it appears. In practical terms, it was never meant for mass production. It served as a rolling laboratory of ideas, directly influencing future Lamborghini models. Its legacy is far more about design than performance, proving that a car can be just as impactful standing still as it is in motion. There is a detail that highlights its importance. It was used as the official pace car at the Monaco Grand Prix, carrying important figures around one of the most famous circuits in the world, helping cement its iconic status. Today, the Marzal is remembered as one of the most elegant concept cars ever created, a machine that was never meant to be practical, but unforgettable. And if this one impresses with sophistication, the next one completely abandons subtlety and goes in a far more aggressive direction. Alfa Romeo Carabo. The Alfa Romeo Carabo was unveiled in 1968 at the Paris Motor Show, but it was developed and built in Italy by Alfa Romeo in collaboration with the legendary design house Bertone under Marcello Gandini. It arrived at a moment when automotive design was beginning to break away from tradition, exploring sharp lines and bold geometric shapes never seen before. Beneath its extremely angular body, the Carabo was based on the Alfa Romeo 33 Stradale, one of the most advanced sports cars of its time. It featured a V8 engine of about 2 liters, producing around 230 horsepower. While that may not sound extreme today, for such a lightweight and low-profile car, it delivered impressive performance, with a top speed exceeding 250 kilometers per hour. The configuration included an 8-cylinder engine mounted in the rear center position, paired with a manual transmission that provided a highly engaging driving experience. Its independent suspension on all 4 wheels ensured stability despite its radical proportions. Visually, the Carabo is revolutionary. Its wedge-shaped design with sharp, aggressive lines defined a new era for supercars. The scissor doors that open upward were among the first of their kind, a feature that would later become iconic in high-performance vehicles. Its metallic green paint with orange accents adds even more personality. The V8 engine sound, positioned right behind the driver, created an intense and immersive experience. The driving position was extremely low, almost touching the ground, making every movement feel immediate and raw. In reality, it was never intended for production. It existed as a bold design statement, and it succeeded. Its influence can be seen in legendary cars like the Lamborghini Countach. Interestingly, the name Carabo was inspired by a type of beetle, known for its vibrant metallic colors, something clearly reflected in the car's appearance. Today, it stands as one of the most influential concept cars ever built, not just for what it was, but for what it inspired in the decades that followed. And looking at it, it's clear this wasn't just a concept, it was the beginning of a design revolution. Mercedes-Benz C111. The Mercedes-Benz C111 emerged in the late 1960s in Germany as a true rolling laboratory. Unlike many concept cars focused purely on styling, this one was built to test advanced technologies that could shape the future of automotive engineering. Under the body, it featured experimental rotary engines, reaching versions with up to 4 rotors and around 350 horsepower. Instead of traditional cylinders, this engine used a completely different system, making its operation unique for the time. It was paired with a manual transmission designed to handle its unusual power delivery. Its independent suspension combined with rear-wheel drive provided stability, especially at high speeds, which was essential since the car was heavily used for performance and efficiency testing. Visually, the C111 is unmistakable. Smooth lines and gull-wing doors give it a distinct identity. The engine sound was also different, more continuous and less aggressive, reinforcing the sense of innovation. In practice, it never reached production, but it played a crucial role for Mercedes-Benz. It became the foundation for multiple technological advancements, including record-breaking speed tests under controlled conditions. Over time, it became more than just a concept. It turned into a symbol of experimentation and progress within the automotive world. And if this one shows how technology can redefine a car, the next takes a completely different path, blending simplicity with bold ideas in a very unexpected way. BMW Garmisch. The BMW Garmisch was introduced in 1970, but unlike what many people assume, it was not developed directly in Germany. This concept was created in Italy by the iconic design house Bertone in Turin under the leadership of Marcello Gandini, one of the most influential names in automotive design history. It came at a time when BMW was looking to explore new visual directions, even beyond its home country. It featured an inline engine of approximately 2 liters, producing around 120 horsepower. The setup included a 4-cylinder engine, prioritizing balance and efficiency. It was paired with a manual transmission, staying true to the standards of the time, while the independent suspension combined with rear-wheel drive ensured a stable and predictable driving experience. Visually, the Garmisch is both intriguing and distinctive. Its straight lines, compact proportions, and clean surfaces create a sense of simplicity, yet they hide very advanced ideas. One of its most interesting details is the rear window, with integrated louvers, designed for thermal comfort and privacy, long before this became common. The interior follows the same philosophy: practical, creative solutions, and a layout that breaks away from convention, showing that the focus here was not to impress through excess, but through intelligent design. In practical terms, it was never produced, but it played a crucial role. It served as direct inspiration for several elements that would later appear in BMW models over the following decades. Its impact is subtle, but extremely significant. There is also a detail that reinforces its importance. The original model was lost over time, and decades later had to be recreated based on photographs and historical records, showing just how valuable it was to the brand's identity. Today, the BMW Garmisch is remembered as a concept that may seem understated at first glance, but highly influential behind the scenes of automotive design. And if this one already surprises with the intelligence behind its ideas, the next completely abandons all limits and moves into something far beyond reality. Lancia Stratos Zero. The Lancia Stratos Zero was introduced in 1970 in Italy, and to this day it is considered one of the most radical concept cars ever created. It wasn't built to evolve automotive design. It was built to completely break every existing reference. Under its extremely low body, it featured a V4 engine of about 1.6 liters, producing around 115 horsepower. The setup included a 4-cylinder engine, delivering a lightweight driving experience rather than raw power. It was paired with a manual transmission, keeping the driver fully connected to the machine, while its independent suspension combined with rear-wheel drive helped maintain stability despite its unusual proportions. But nothing prepares you for its visual impact. The Stratos Zero stands at roughly 84 centimeters tall, lower than most people's waist. It looks more like an experimental prototype than a real car. There are no conventional doors. To get inside, the driver had to lift the entire windshield, almost like opening the cockpit of an aircraft. The steering wheel had an unconventional shape, and the driving position was nearly reclined, creating a completely different driving sensation. Everything about it was designed to be extreme, from its shape to how it was used. In practical terms, it was never meant for public roads. It existed purely as a design statement, showing how far creativity could go without limitations. Even so, its impact was massive, directly influencing the development of the legendary Lancia Stratos rally car. There is a moment that perfectly captures its boldness. During its presentation, it entered a building by passing underneath a barrier that no other car could fit under. The Stratos Zero is seen as something almost surreal in automotive history. A car that didn't try to adapt to the world, it created its own rules. And if this one already challenges everything you know, the next takes the concept of design to an even more extreme level. Ferrari Modulo. The Ferrari Modulo was unveiled in 1970 in Italy, and it stands as one of the most extreme concept cars ever associated with the brand. Unlike traditional Ferraris, it completely abandoned the idea of classic elegance and embraced a fully experimental design philosophy. Beneath its futuristic shell, it housed a V12 engine of 5 liters, producing around 550 horsepower. The configuration included 12 cylinders, delivering impressive force, even by today's standards. It was paired with a manual transmission, while its independent suspension and rear-wheel drive helped maintain control despite its unconventional structure. Visually, the Modulo looks almost unreal. Extremely low, with flat horizontal lines and partially covered wheels, it feels more like a moving sculpture than a functional car. There are no traditional doors. Instead, the entire top section slides forward, revealing the hidden cockpit. Inside, the space is compact and highly focused on the concept itself. Everything reinforces the idea that this was not built to follow rules, but to challenge them. In practical terms, it was functional, but extremely limited. It was never intended for production, serving only as a demonstration of what could be achieved in terms of design and engineering. For many years, it remained a static display piece, until it was later restored and brought back to life, increasing its legendary status even further. Today, the Ferrari Modulo is remembered as one of the boldest concept cars ever made, a machine that didn't try to be understood, only admired. And if this already seems extreme, the next proves that concept cars can also push raw power to the absolute limit. Ford GT90. The Ford GT90 was introduced in 1995 by Ford in the United States as one of the most ambitious concept cars ever created by the brand. It came at a time when the automotive world was redefining what a supercar could be, and Ford decided to go all in. Under the body, the GT90 featured a V12 engine of 6 liters, capable of producing around 720 horsepower. This engine was highly advanced for its time, incorporating technology inspired by Formula One. Its acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour was estimated at around 3 seconds, while its top speed was projected to exceed 370 kilometers per hour, placing it among the fastest concepts ever envisioned. The setup included a 12-cylinder engine mounted in the rear center position, paired with a high-performance manual transmission designed to handle extreme levels of power. Its independent suspension on all 4 wheels was tuned for high-speed stability and precise control. Visually, the GT90 was aggressive and futuristic. Its design followed the new edge philosophy, with sharp angles, bold lines and massive air intakes. It looked like it was moving, even when standing still. Being near it was an intense experience. The engine generated so much heat that special materials had to be used in the body, including components from aerospace applications, just to withstand the temperature. In practical terms, it never reached production, but it served as a testing platform for technologies that would influence future performance cars. It proved that Ford could compete at the highest level of engineering. There is a striking detail that reinforces how extreme it was. During testing, the heat produced by the engine was so intense that parts of the car required advanced thermal protection just to function properly. Today, the GT90 is remembered as one of the most extreme concept cars ever built, a machine that showed what happens when engineering is pushed to its absolute limits. And if that already feels excessive, the next takes a completely different approach to redefining what a car can be. Cadillac Sixteen. The Cadillac Sixteen was introduced in 2003 in the United States as a concept that completely redefined the idea of automotive luxury. It wasn't built just to impress, it was built to dominate any environment it entered. Under its massive body, it featured a V16 engine of 13.6 liters, producing around 1,000 horsepower. The configuration included 16 cylinders, something extremely rare even today. It came paired with an automatic transmission focused on comfort, while its independent suspension combined with rear-wheel drive ensured a smooth and controlled driving experience despite its size. Visually, the 16 is imposing, long, wide, and incredibly elegant. It blends classic luxury with a modern presence. Its large front grille and refined details create a strong and unmistakable identity. The interior is equally impressive. High-quality materials, precise craftsmanship, and a spacious layout create an atmosphere of absolute comfort. Every detail was designed to be experienced. In practical terms, it never entered production, but it showed just how far Cadillac could go when freed from limitations. Its influence can be seen in later luxury models. One interesting aspect is how it balanced excess with intelligence. Even with such massive power, the engine could deactivate some cylinders to improve fuel efficiency when needed. Today, the Cadillac 16 is remembered as one of the most remarkable luxury concepts ever created. A machine that didn't just raise the standard, it set a new one entirely. And if this feels like the peak of excess, the next shows how the future can be reimagined in a completely different way. Lancia Pu+Ra HPE. The Lancia Pu+Ra HPE was unveiled in 2023 in Italy as a concept that represents the rebirth of the brand in the modern automotive world. It arrives during a time of major transformation, where electrification, sustainability, and new driving experiences are shaping the future. Unlike traditional concept cars powered by combustion engines, the Pu+Ra HPE relies on a fully electric system. Its estimated output is around 400 horsepower, delivering instant acceleration and smooth power, a defining trait of electric motors. Its top speed is electronically limited, prioritizing efficiency and range. This setup eliminates the traditional concept of cylinders entirely. Instead, it uses electric motors paired with an automatic system that delivers immediate response. Its suspension is adaptive, designed to maximize comfort, while its traction can vary between rear-wheel and all-wheel drive depending on the configuration. Visually, it blends past and future in a sophisticated way. Clean lines, minimalistic surfaces, and subtle references to classic Lancia models create a unique identity. The lighting design stands out, giving it a strong visual signature. Inside, the experience is completely different. Inspired by living spaces, it feels more like a lounge than a traditional car interior. Sustainable materials, soft lighting, and a digital interface create a calm and modern atmosphere. Driving it changes the perception of speed. Instead of engine noise, there is silence, giving the sensation of gliding over the road. In practical terms, it represents Lancia's future direction. A vehicle designed not just for transportation, but for a complete and connected experience. Its cultural impact is significant, marking the return of the brand with a vision aligned with modern expectations. It shows that tradition and innovation can coexist. There is also an important detail. The concept was developed with a strong focus on reducing environmental impact, using recyclable materials and sustainable processes. Today, the Pu+Ra HPE is more than a concept. It is a clear statement of intent. And after everything we've seen so far, it becomes clear that the future of cars can be just as impressive as their past. Citroen OLI concept. The Citroen OLI concept is one of the boldest ideas ever presented by the brand, developed in France as an advanced vision of urban mobility and interaction between technology and design. It wasn't created just as a car, but as a completely new way of thinking about transportation. Instead of focusing on extreme power, it prioritizes efficiency and intelligence. It uses an advanced electric system with moderate output, enough for fast and efficient urban movement. Acceleration is smooth, with immediate response, and its top speed is designed for city environments. The setup removes the traditional idea of engines and cylinders entirely. Everything is electric and highly automated. It features an automatic system, and its driving can be partially or fully autonomous, depending on the situation. Its suspension is designed for maximum comfort, using intelligent adjustments to adapt to different road conditions. Traction is optimized for urban use, ensuring stability and safety. Visually, the OLI concept feels like a completely new level of creativity. Organic shapes, integrated lighting, and a structure that breaks away from traditional car design make it look more like a moving concept than a conventional vehicle. Inside, it becomes even more impressive. An open layout, adaptive seating, and a fully digital interface eliminate the need for physical buttons. Everything is controlled through touch or smart systems. In practical terms, it was designed to solve real urban problems such as traffic, pollution, and limited space. It represents a vision of how vehicles can better integrate with modern cities. Its impact lies in the idea itself. It is not about numbers or performance, but about redefining mobility. There is also an interesting aspect. Concepts like this often influence technologies that appear years later in real production vehicles, even if the original design never reaches the streets. And when you look at the Citroen OLI, it becomes clear that we are no longer just talking about cars. We are talking about an entirely new experience. These concept cars represent something far greater than design or technology. They are moments where engineering chose to experiment, take risks, and explore ideas without limits. Some were too fast, others too bold, and some simply too different to ever become reality. But they all share one thing. They helped shape the future of the automotive industry. They are true works of art on wheels, created to challenge, inspire, and redefine everything we think a car should be. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these concepts caught your attention the most because of its design? Which one would you love to see driving on the streets today? And which do you think had the biggest influence on modern cars? If you enjoy this kind of content, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. This is extremely important for the growth of the channel and helps YouTube recommend this content to more people. And stay tuned, because every week there's a new video featuring the most incredible machines ever created. I'll see you in the next video.